My daughter Amanda is in a toxic relationship with her fiance Alexis. He is abusive to her. He is an alcoholic. My daughter Amanda does whatever her fiance Alexis tells her to do. Her actions are all controlled by Alexis. Alexis is physically abusing my daughter, but I've seen the bruises. I've never witnessed the abuse, but Amanda has confided in me that he has hit her, punched her, slapped her, pulled her hair. I cannot figure out why she just won't leave him. Alexis has brainwashed my daughter to believe that he is the only one that's there for her, and he has isolated her completely from all of her family and all her friends. DPS got involved because she tested positive for marijuana when she was 5 months pregnant with my grandson. Right now, I do not feel that her or her boyfriend are equipped to take care of their children. DPS asked me if I would take them, and I said absolutely. My grandchildren are so young, and the toxic relationship and what they've had to endure and the instability is horrible. I'm just glad they're here now and they're safe.
Well, joining us virtually is Annalisa. Now, she's the grandmother, and she couldn't be here in studio today because she is actually parenting Amanda and Alexis' children, as I was just saying. Now, Annalisa, I want to be very clear. I'm doing this show for one reason and one reason only, actually two reasons, the children. Right. These two young children. Now, you are very certain that your daughter's fiance is abusive to her. How do you know this? Have you seen it?
I have not witnessed it with my own eyes, but my daughter, I've seen the bruises and I've seen the behavior, the isolation, just all the symptoms that go along with abuse, and then also seen bruises on her, and then my daughter has confessed to me that he has put his hands on her and in what ways he's done it.
Do you understand she now denies that, right?
I'm sure she does. She's covered up for him for so many years now. They've been back and forth in this toxic relationship for 10 years now. So she only now, I want to say last year, confessed to me that he physically abuses her.
She defends him as just being frustrated. Now, drugs and alcohol have been involved as well, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Do both of them drink and drug?
Yes.
And do they do this when they're in the presence of the children?
Absolutely, yes, they do.
Do you think the children have been traumatized by this?
Yes.
Because they tell me they do this outside the presence of the children, except for the yelling, screaming, and fighting, which they, again, confess they do in front of the children.
Well, the times that they were allowing me to have the children, like, during the week or on the weekends when they're together, she would come and drop the kids off, and all their belongings and my grandchildren would just drenched in the smell of marijuana, to the point where I would have to immediately take them a bath and wash all of the diaper bag and everything that's inside of it. I mean...
So it just permeated everything?
Absolutely, yes.
Do the children get scared when all the yelling and screaming starts with mom and dad?
My granddaughter is just terrified of any sudden noises. She is now being violent herself. She's hitting my other two children that I have in the house. She was never like this. She has woken up in the middle of the night crying and slapping herself. She's woken up and she's hit me in the face and pulled my hair, and just out of a sleep. It's just very odd behavior.
When they talk about drinking and drugging, obviously they're smoking marijuana, and they both admit to that. Have you talked to her about that? Have you said, look, this is not something a mother should be doing with children? What does she say? She,
of course, denies first, and then she comes to the terms where she admits it, but she denies that she does it in front of the children. And I explained to her that it's affecting their brain. Their brains are not developed, and if they're in this environment, it's going to affect them long term. And I've explained to her so many different times that she needs to put her children first and not him. But she's put him first for 10 years, and I don't think she knows any different. I don't think she knows how to not do that.
All right. And why did social services take the children when they did? The night that they took them, what precipitated them saying, okay, enough's enough, these children are being removed from the home? What was going on?
Unfortunately, I'm not completely aware of why they went out there. I know that somebody notified them that she had possession of the children at a different location where they were under a safety plan, and this was against the safety plan, so they just removed the kids from both of them.
So they were already under restrictions from social services that they had to have the children only under the supervision of his mother, correct? So
Correct.
they were not allowed to have the children unless they were being supervised. And they
Correct.
violated the safety plan of supervision, went somewhere else. They were found with the children in violation of the social services plan, and therefore they were removed for being in violation. They were in non-compliance with the plan.
Correct.
Since the children have been in my care, they are completely traumatized. I believe that my granddaughter has seen what Alexis does to my daughter. My daughter told me when Alexis gets angry, she locks herself in the car with the children. Alexis bangs on the car and the windows. My 18-month-old granddaughter has woken up in the middle of the night, attacking me out of her sleep, pulling my hair and hitting me in the face. She's also terrified of loud noises. She runs in terror and see the terror in her face.
I don't trust my mom's intentions. It seems to me that my mom wants me to be a single mother. Alexis is the father of my children, and she should respect that. She's doing everything she can to hurt him, and in the process, she's hurting my kids. I don't like the way she treats Alexis. She wants us to be broken up. The more people try to pull us from each other, the stronger we become as a couple. My mom only sees the bad. We fight, we argue, we get loud, we yell, but we forgive each other. I don't think he's physically hurt me in an abusive way. One time, I was trying to leave an argument. Rather than talking about it, I was trying to walk away from it. It hurt, I guess, him like restraining me. It wasn't for him to inflict pain on me. He had my best interests at heart. He was frustrated that I didn't listen to him. I just want my kids back and my mom isn't helping. I fully 100% admitted to smoking weed when I was pregnant with my son. I don't smoke weed every day. I don't drink every day. I don't think that weed is a bad thing. I'm currently not doing any hard drugs. CPS told me the reason that they took the kids was because of neglect. I was angry. I said, no, you're not gonna take my kids. Both officers got on me. They were trying to keep me down. They were trying to tell me to calm down. I'm a good mother. I didn't deserve to have my kids taken away from me. If my mom hates Alexis so strongly, to me, it scares me for her to have so much control over them. Alexis and I are staying together to raise our children. We're gonna get married.
Amanda, good to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Now, let me be very, very clear about something. And you need to have, you need to make a threshold decision right now, because this isn't about television. This isn't about a show. This is about you and your family.
Mm-hmm.
It's about your children. I'm about unifying families, not fragmenting families. I believe that if at all possible, children should be with their parents. And so I'm going to tell you, you've got to be honest with yourself. You said, I did not deserve to have my children taken away from me. They should not have been taken away from me. Is that true?
Yes.
Were you not in violation of a court order?
No.
You were not in
No,
violation
I
of a court
wasn't.
order.
I was not in violation of a
Because
court
I
order when
understood you had a safety plan and you were not to be with those children unless you were being supervised directly by Alexis' mother.
Yes, I was being supervised by my grandparents.
Didn't the order say you were
Yes.
not allowed to be in the presence of those children unless you were being supervised by Alexis' mother?
Yes, that's true.
And when you were found with the children, you were not being supervised by Alexis' mother.
Yes, that's true.
So you were in violation of a court order.
Yes, sir.
So how were your children stolen? How were you said my children were taken away from me and unfairly?
I was in the process of creating a new safety plan during that time.
Great. As soon as you get it done, signed off and approved by the judge, implemented, you're good to go. That hadn't happened yet, had it?
No. The reason that they went that day was to interview my grandfather and put him on the safety plan.
Okay.
So they were there. The reason that they went wasn't to take the kids. The reason they went was to get me to sign the safety plan with my grandparents there.
Okay. And your point?
My point is that's why we were at my grandparents'.
The judge gave you a plan and you hadn't followed, you hadn't changed it. It hadn't been signed off yet. And you had just been arrested, right?
Yes,
And why were you arrested?
for possession.
Of?
Marijuana.
Why did they stop you?
We were speeding.
Okay.
We were speeding.
And so you got stopped and it was your car.
Correct.
And so at that point you said, okay, they're my drugs.
Yes,
And so you're arrested.
correct.
Okay. And what happened next?
So
They were both arrested.
Go ahead. Say again.
They were both arrested that night.
Right. And so why was he arrested?
They're claiming that he tried to run away from the situation.
And leave you there
Correct.
to deal with it. And you're saying that's not true?
No.
That's just an allegation.
It's
I mean,
an
he hasn't been
allegation,
convicted.
exactly. Right.
Yeah.
To me, I know Alexis, and I know he wouldn't have left me in that situation.
So this is just a mess.
Yes.
And you say this was just made much worse by the fact that your mother just hates Alexis. And so therefore, she just let this situation spin out of control.
Right. I feel like my mother's point of view on Alexis and my relationship causes her to try to help a lot and not really help. It's causing a lot of problems.
You say your mother should respect him as the father of the children.
Yes. My
Okay.
mom should definitely respect Alexis as the father of my children and as my fiance and my future husband.
Even though you tell her that he abuses you.
I've told her our personal issues from the day we got together till the most recent, this new year. I spoke to her about all our problems and she came
Daughters
to that
talk
conclusion.
to their mothers. I mean, daughters
Yes,
vent to their
I
mothers.
felt like I was safe. I felt like that's my mom. I'm safe. I can talk to her about anything. She told me you can talk to me about anything. So that's why I let everything go. I let everything out to her.
But if you tell her that he's abusing you, and you think, well, I hope she doesn't use this against me, but you understand her loyalty is to you.
Yes.
She's wanting to protect her baby.
Right. But
Just like you protect your baby, she's protecting hers.
But the big difference between that is my daughter's 1 and I'm 26 years old.
Right.
So that's not her job anymore. I'm an adult. It's my job to take care of my kids and my job to take care of my business.
Well, as time goes on, you'll find out you never stop being a mother.
Yeah, well.
I mean, come on, give your mom a break here.
No, I know.
You were her baby, you
know.
are her baby, and if
know.
somebody's hurting her baby, she's going to step up.
I know. And I know. I love my mom.
How does it feel to think about somebody hurting your child here?
It's devastating. I don't want anybody to hurt my children or my grandchildren.
Are you worried for her?
Absolutely.
So you're not acting against her here. You're trying to keep her from getting hurt.
Yes, because I feel that the only outcome that can come from this relationship is that one of them's going to end up dead.
Yeah. Seriously hurt or
Yes.
dead. Somebody can come out of this in a real bad way.
Yes.
When my grandson was 1 month old, my daughter asked me to watch the children, and she never returned home that night.
My mom overreacted when I didn't come home. I had a few drinks with friends. When I went to go get the kids, my family wouldn't open the door.
We got into a physical altercation. She just charged at me. She hit me on my chest. My daughter was under the influence when she attacked me. Amanda has been in an abusive relationship with Alexis for 10 years. My daughter tells me that they get into a physical fight about once a week. My daughter has told me that he's a mean drunk. He drinks every day. He's drunk and he's ready to argue.
My mom believes that Alexis abuses me because she's seen bruises on me, but that's not the case. I bruise very easily and I'm clumsy. Our room, we had huge furniture, so I bumped into the furniture a lot. And this is not like coming from like an abused woman. Like I literally am very clumsy. Just look right here, I have all these bruises. These bruises are from when CPS took my children.
My daughter always covers up for him and makes excuses for him. She's convinced that everything is her fault. That's when I became convinced that he has no love for anybody but himself.
He's never pulled my hair, he's never slapped me, he's never punched me, kicked me. Alexis and I get into verbal fights, yelling. We accuse each other of cheating.
I know that the police have been involved. And one time, Amanda told me that Alexis yanked my granddaughter's arm very hard. After that incident, they broke up for a month, and that's when she sought a protective order.
That's untrue. Alexis would never hurt our daughter. I trust him as a father. She's constantly putting Alexis down, and I'm sick of it.
Well, Alexis says he has an absolutely horrible relationship with Amanda's mother, but claims he's not abusive and really isn't interested in his lover's mother's opinion.
I'm not abusive. I don't know why Amanda's mom hates me so much. I think Amanda's mom has animosity towards men in general. I don't care what she says or what she thinks. I think her actions are what's really messing up things for our family. If she wouldn't say the negative things she said, the kids wouldn't be taken away by CPS. I feel like she lied about some things. After work, occasionally I get a drink for a wind down. The drinking only gets bad when I'm not with the kids or Amanda. I'm a good father. I love my kids. Me and Amanda, we've gotten into heated arguments. It has gotten to a point where I regret it getting to the point that it did. She hits me. She's just flying off the handle. One time I got jealous and I held her down. I was accusing her of basically cheating and she got mad and she wanted to leave in the middle of the night. I love Amanda with all my heart and I'm just trying to work it out.
You should really, really be grateful that she has stepped up right now, or your kids would be in foster care at this point. And let me tell you, Robin and I are very involved in the foster care system, and it's broken. And those kids might have been separated, and there are a lot of loving foster parents out there, but there are a lot of people that are foster parents for the money, and it's if it wasn't for that woman, your children could be in harm's way right now. You owe her a big, big vote of thanks.
And I'm extremely grateful, Dr. Phil. I feel relieved when we found out that they were with her mother, with Amanda's mother. We were relieved. It felt better than knowing that they're in foster care.
But didn't you say she plotted to get your children away from you? That she's the one that's been calling in social services on you and trying to take the children away?
Yes, after Amanda did a drug test for CPS, that day, CPS told me the case is gonna be closed. The case is gonna be closed all we have to do is talk to Amanda's mother. And that's when, that day, she kicked Amanda out.
She's told her mother that you're abusive with her. Why are you telling me that's not true? Is she lying?
Well, our arguments have gotten to a point where we are at each other's, not at each other's throats, but we are just saying nasty things or
What
just
about
arguing.
nasty things? It's not about being physical.
No, about being physical.
So is she lying? Is she lying when she says you've gotten physical with her?
I do defend myself. There's been times where we, like, she does like push me or I push her or something like that, and what's going on is, like, she accuses me and yells at me and gets in my face, and then she pushes me or something like that, and I react like
You push her back.
it's gotten to the point when she does get upset that and hits me or something like that, that I do defend myself.
She hits you, you
Discussions
hit her
get-
back. She pushes you, you push her back.
Like a few times that has happened, yes.
You don't ever put your hands on a woman in anger, ever, ever, for any reason, ever. If she hits you, you walk away. If she pushes you, you walk away. If she continues, you leave.
But my kids are right there. How am I supposed to just leave my kids? I don't.
You're changing the subject. If the alternative is you either hit her or push her or you leave, you leave. There's no excuse. There's no reason. You never put your hands on a woman in anger. Alexis, look, you're a lot bigger. You are stronger. You're built different biologically, anatomically. You're built different. You're a completely different animal. That's not what you do. You never put your hands on a woman in anger. And if she keeps doing it, then you just don't be together. It's just that simple. You don't put your hands on a woman in anger ever for any reason. And if you do, you're going to wind up going to jail, and you're going to wind up going for a long time. So I'm telling you, let me save you some trouble here. If that's what this is melting down to, you need to get out and stay out, or you're going to go to prison for a long time.
I know I need to learn how to de-escalate a lot of situations. It's just, I don't know how. I don't.
Have you done anything to learn how?
No. I mean, I've tried to control my breathing and just try
Have
to find a
either of
solution.
you done anything to learn how to control these arguments? Have either of you done anything to learn how to de-escalate the arguments, to tone them down, to bring them down, to resolve conflict without violence?
Well, I've learned how throughout being in like mental health, different classes and things like that I've had to go through going to the hospital. So I feel like I do know a little bit, and I do have some coping tools that I could use, but in the moment, I have a hard time actually, myself personally, getting away from a situation that when I'm angry and it escalates to the point, it's hard for me to walk away.
So you've attempted to learn, but you haven't quite mastered it yet.
Yes.
Okay, but yet you think you're fit parents. What you're saying is, I get in situations where I lose control and cannot control my anger, and we get into yelling, screaming, and sometimes physical altercations, but we think we are fit parents. We do this in front of our children, but we think that we are fit parents.
No, I mean, we don't fight constantly all the time. It's just sometimes we do, like, just in life in general, like social media, like being an issue and stuff like that. We do get into these arguments occasionally. It's not constant. It's not always in front of the kids.
That's a very low bar. Constant is the fact that you don't do it every waking moment is not okay. The fact that you just do it once or twice a week, once or twice a day, that's not okay. The fact that, well, we don't do it constantly, that's not okay. It doesn't say, as long as you don't fight in front of your children constantly, then you're okay parents. That's not okay. Well, we're out of time for today, but here is a sneak peek at tomorrow's shocking conclusion.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
You say we called each other's names, we smoked marijuana during pregnancy.
I don't want to put my children in harm's way anymore.
You don't even recognize what needs to go on a to-do list to get back your children.
I witnessed you laid out on the sofa when you were babysitting.
No, that's not true.
My baby hadn't even eaten.
How do you know?
You are talking your children right into foster care. Great job.
That's tomorrow.
You do not want to miss that. Now, these parents say they are willing to do whatever it takes to get their children back, but are they willing to take a long, hard look in the mirror and examine their past behavior? Not spin it, not put a good face on it, but really examine it honestly. Plus, Amanda's mother, Annalisa, has an extensive and shocking list of accusations against her daughter's fiancé, Alexis. She accuses him of using drugs, fighting, and physically abusing Amanda, all in front of their grandchildren. She says she's seeking custody of her daughter's children unless Alexis finally gets out of the picture and out of the picture for good. Now, you are absolutely not going to want to miss how Alexis and Amanda respond. It won't be what you expect. All of that and more tomorrow. I would like to thank all of my guests today. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com.
She calls her daughter's fiancé
Arrogant, monstrous, psychopathic, abusive. You've gotten physical with her.
I do defend myself.
You guys were in an argument, but you held her down.
I didn't beat on her.
You don't ever put your hands on a woman in anger.
New Dr. Phil. Check your local listings.